LeBron James. Some say he's the GOAT, some say he's not even top 10. But I think we all can agree that he's one of the all-time greats of the game of basketball. His basketball IQ, athleticism, and ability to perform just about any skill imaginable on the floor allows him to dominate and make some of the most outstanding plays we've ever seen. With that comes confidence, trash talk, and sometimes it's just utter disrespect. So welcome to NBA Zone, and in today's video, we'll be admiring these disrespectful moments and going over 10 separate occasions that LeBron James has disrespected his opponents. Before we get started though, make sure you guys are subscribed to us here at NBA Zone and that you have your notifications turned on so that you do not miss a single bit of content we put out. Some of the best NBA content on YouTube if you ask me. Anyways, now that I've tooted my own horn, let's get into the video. LeBron James and Ben Simmons are on pretty good terms. LeBron has been mentoring Simmons ever since he was in high school, and Simmons has even been quoted saying that he sees LeBron like a big brother. Simmons signed with LeBron's agency, LeBron offers Simmons advice, and they often work out together during the offseason. So, there's no shortage of respect between Bron and Simmons. But, this relationship gives LeBron a deeper knowledge of Simmons' psychology. And when they matched up in a game in February of last year, LeBron wasn't bothering even defending a Ben Simmons jump shot. He made a post fade. LeBron was clearly thinking, okay, really? Later on, Simmons came down the floor and Bron literally sagged all the way into the restricted area, leaving Simmons wide open for a jump shot, not respecting Simmons' shot at all. Speaking of not respecting a shot, LeBron James has a funny way of disrespecting those that don't respect his jumper. During the course of the 2019 season, NBA Twitter began to notice something about the way LeBron would go about shooting his jump shots. Fans noticed that every time LeBron was about to pull a jumper, he'd turn his head and stare down at the ball before pulling the shot, sometimes even blowing in his hands before doing so. It just seems a little disrespectful to somewhat hint that you're going to shoot the ball in someone's face, and even though they know it's coming, you do it anyways. Most of the time resulting in success for LeBron. He's even used this tactic to fool the defense into thinking he's going to shoot the three before driving to the basket. Do you guys remember back in 2016 when the water bottle challenge was running rampant on the internet? Well, during a December game back in 2016, LeBron James and the Cleveland Cavaliers decided that they would partake in the fun little game. But they would do it during the course of an actual game. While up 31 points to the New York Knicks, it was garbage time in Madison Square Garden. During the final minutes of the game, the broadcast cuts over to LeBron and his teammates doing the water bottle challenge during the course of the game. LeBron even tossed the bottle onto the floor during play by accident, then proceeded to dive on the floor to retrieve the bottle while him and his teammates giggled like little kids. During a span lasting from the 2016 playoffs to the 2018 playoffs, the Toronto Raptors, no matter how successful they were during the regular season, absolutely could not defeat LeBron James in the playoffs. During that 3-year stretch, the LeBron-led Cavs would tally a record of 12-2 against the Toronto Raptors. The Cavs wouldn't seem to dominate any other team the same way, only the Raptors. With this, you already know the internet was going to take advantage. The Kings' dominance over the Raptors would spawn the LeBronto meme, and the Raptors would be shamed repeatedly. That is until they would win the finals in 2019. But they didn't have to face LeBron during last year's playoffs. So have they really defeated Goliath just yet? Once again, we take a look at the 2016 NBA playoffs, specifically the NBA Finals, where LeBron would turn another franchise into a meme. 2016 would be an iconic year for LeBron. He would play out of his mind the entire playoffs, would get that championship title that he always wanted for Cleveland, and would help the Cavs defeat the Warriors after being down 3-1 in the finals. This series would spawn iconic moments such as the block and also some shame upon the Warriors for not only blowing a 3-1 lead, but basically wasting away their record-breaking 73-9 regular season record. Most of all though, it would produce a projection of disrespect from LeBron onto Steph that would come in the form of a block and a little bit of smack talk at the end. If you were to ask NBA fans what they remember most about LeBron James' time in Miami, it would probably be all the epic alley-oops that LeBron and Dwayne Wade connected on over those years. That duo produced some of the nastiest alley-oop dunks in NBA history, one in particular that would live on for eternity, and that's when LeBron James jumped over John Lucas III. This would turn out to be one of the more iconic plays of LeBron's career so far, and certainly one of the more disrespectful ones. To jump over a grown man and dunk the ball, then to turn around and give him crap for it? This is what the victim himself, John Lucas, would have to say on the matter.
Off the plane yesterday and somebody was like, hey, that's the dude LeBron jumped over. When I got off the plane, I was like, well, welcome to Miami. That's why I said to myself, it's good. It was a hell of a play. I mean, I haven't watched it in a while, but, every time I walk into the locker room, they got a big picture of him jumping over me before, you enter into the locker room. So I'm always reminded of what happened here.
During the 2008 Olympics in Beijing, the United States were basically just disrespecting every team they played against. All of the NBA's biggest stars and best players came together to absolutely run the 2008 Olympics. From lobs, flashy passes, and nasty dunks, the NBA stars were able to show out because they were far better than any of their opponents. There is basically one play from LeBron in that Olympics that personifies the entire experience for the other countries involved. That's a LeBron James block where he would viciously spike a poor Angolan man's shot into the ground like it was a damn volleyball. Then he stared the Angolan player down while he sat on the floor trying to comprehend what happened to the ball. Now, not that anyone cares, but this is personally my favorite LeBron moment of all time. During the 2014 playoffs against the Michael Jordan owned, very poorly owned might I add, Charlotte Bobcats, LeBron James would get a steal. Up almost 20 points in the third quarter, LeBron would rise up for a tomahawk slam. Well, if you look closely, LeBron James seems to look near the Bobcats bench as he goes up to dunk. Sitting just next to the Bobcats bench, Michael Jordan. The guy everyone is always comparing LeBron to. The guy everyone says LeBron can never surpass. LeBron summons all the bad words ever spoken of him in comparison to Jordan and gives Jordan the death stare as he slams one home, as to say, I'm coming for your throne. Starting around the 2011 NBA Finals, after the Dallas Mavericks defeated LeBron in the Miami Heat, LeBron James and Jason Terry had some serious beef. Terry had said during the finals that LeBron couldn't stop him and that he wasn't impressed at all by LeBron. So in 2013, when the Miami Heat were on a 22-game win streak going into a game against the Boston Celtics, the Celtics' Jason Terry said that he wasn't impressed by Miami's win streak or anything they do for that matter. So, when LeBron James would put down one of the greatest contact dunks in NBA history right on Terry's head, it was the ultimate disrespect and payback for the beef that they had. What do you know? We have another disrespectful moment from LeBron James from 2016. This time it comes at the expense of Marcus Smart. LeBron sees infamous flopper and hothead Marcus Smart guarding him with the entire strong side of the floor open for him to isolate. With that, LeBron would begin to back down Smart aggressively, and Smart would match that aggression. After LeBron would spin from the post, he and Smart would get tangled up at the basket, and LeBron would give him a bit of a shove towards the stanchion. This would obviously cause Marcus Smart to retaliate. I mean, the man retaliated against a fan in college, for crying out loud. So, as Smart approached LeBron, LeBron walked away with a look on his face of no concern over Marcus Smart. Then, when he sees Smart pushing and shoving, he gives a look as to say, who is this guy? Forcing a moment of irrelevancy on Marcus Smart's whole career. So that's going to do it for today's video. Which one of these moments is your favorite and why? Let us know down in the comments section below. Also, if you enjoyed this video, then give it a like and make sure you subscribe to the channel. Anyways, I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.